I really tried my best, please watch the video until the end.
I push the tiny dirt sphere across the dry, dead earth. The dry soil sticks to my golden shell during this walk. They think I am just a weak, tiny bug on this huge planet. System Alert Mass Accumulation skill is now fully active. I roll the ball forward using my strong back insect legs, small rocks attached to the growing sphere under my push. Every single grain of sand adds weight to my final weapon. The enemy army marches across the wide, green, open valley. Heavy boots crush the soft grass under their steady pace. These foolish humans do not understand kinetic gravity. I add another gray stone to my perfect round rolling weapon. The sphere grows slightly larger, absorbing the material. My golden armor shines brightly under the hot morning sun. System Alert current mass level reached Tier 2 evolution. I shift my weight back to push the heavy ball even faster. Deep tracks appear in the dirt behind my continuous motion. Size means absolutely nothing without dense internal mass. The marching soldiers stop near the tall, ancient stone wall. Their shiny steel armor reflects the bright, clear blue sky. They will soon feel the true crushing power of my pure mass. I press my back legs against the heavy, growing dirt sphere. The ball rolls over a discarded broken wooden sword handle. Wood splinters instantly compress into the dense, dark core. System Alert gravitational pull increased by 10%. I spin the sphere rapidly to gather more loose surface dirt. A sudden strong wind blows thick dust across the battlefield. This dust storm only feeds my hungry, growing gravity weapon. An archer spots my golden shell moving through the tall grass. He pulls his bowstring back with clear, aggressive intent. That single arrow will only become more fuel for my journey. A sharp wooden arrow flies directly toward my small body. The projectile strikes the spinning sphere with a loud thud. It sinks deep into the dense mass without touching my shell. System Alert foreign object absorbed into the central core. I keep pushing the ball forward with absolute cold precision. The archer lowers his bow, staring at me in complete shock. He does not realize his weapon just made my sphere stronger. A squad of infantrymen rushes forward with drawn steel swords. Heavy footsteps shake the ground around my tiny rolling form. They plan to crush the strange golden bug beneath their boots. I accelerate my pushing speed across the uneven rocky terrain. The sphere absorbs several large stones scattered on the path. My weapon is now the exact size of a fully grown human head. System Alert gravitational field expanded to 2 full meters. The leading soldier swings his heavy sword down at my shell. I quickly pivot and shove the dense sphere into his weapon. The steel blade snaps instantly upon hitting the compact mass. Shards of broken metal get sucked right into the rolling ball. The soldier falls backward, clutching his numb, vibrating hand. He finally understands the terrifying density of my creation. I roll the sphere directly over his shiny silver chest plate. The thick armor caves in under the massive, crushing pressure. He loses consciousness instantly from the sudden, heavy impact. System Alert kinetic force applied successfully to the target. Other soldiers freeze in place, watching their fallen comrade. Fear slowly replaces the arrogant confidence in their eyes. I do not care about their sudden change in emotional state. I only need more raw material to increase my planetary mass. I push the ball toward a pile of discarded wooden shields. The sphere rolls over the wood, crushing it into fine powder. The powder compresses tightly into the growing gravity core. System Alert mass density increased by another 20%. The ball is now as tall as a standard military transport cart. I am just a golden beetle pushing a giant ball of pure ruin. The enemy commander shouts loud orders from a safe distance. A barrage of flaming arrows fills the sky above my position. Fire means absolutely nothing to a sphere of compressed dirt. The flaming arrows hit the ball and extinguish immediately. Wood and ash merge perfectly into the spinning dark surface. My weapon absorbs their attack without losing any momentum. System Alert heat energy converted into internal core density. I drive my 6 legs harder into the cracked, dry earth below. The massive sphere rolls forward, picking up speed very fast. A group of spearmen tries to block my path with long weapons. They brace their wooden poles against the solid rocky ground. Do they really think thin wood can stop a planetary object? The giant sphere slams directly into the defensive spear wall. All 20 spears shatter into tiny pieces at the same time. The sheer kinetic force throws the soldiers high into the air. They land heavily on the ground, losing consciousness at once. System alert obstacle cleared and targets safely neutralized. I roll the sphere over their dropped weapons and metal gear. Swords and shields bend and compress into the rolling mass. The ball grows larger with every single item it swallows up. My golden shell remains completely hidden behind the giant orb. The commander orders the heavy catapults to fire at my ball. Huge solid stone boulders fly through the air toward my mass. I do not stop pushing my weapon across the ruined battlefield. The first boulder collides with my sphere, creating a loud boom. Instead of breaking my ball, the boulder simply sticks to it. System alert. Large stone object integrated into the main core. The intense gravity of my sphere pulls the other boulders in. They crash into the dark surface and become part of the weapon. The sphere is now the size of a large 3-story building. I am still just a tiny golden bug pushing from the very bottom. My strength scales infinitely with the mass I currently control. I push the gigantic ball directly toward the enemy command tent. The ground shakes violently under the extreme rolling pressure. Soldiers drop their weapons and run away in absolute pure panic. They cannot escape the expanding gravitational pull of my mass. Loose dirt and rocks fly up from the ground into the sphere. System alert gravity radius now covers 50 square meters. The heavy catapults are dragged forward by the unseen force. Heavy wooden war machines crash into the rolling ball of ruin. They splinter and compress until nothing remains of their form. The commander stares at the approaching doom with total fear. He finally sees the tiny golden beetle pushing this whole world. I do not feel any pity for these weak and foolish human beings. I apply one final massive push with my strong back insect legs. The giant sphere rolls completely over the large command tent. Everything inside is crushed flat by the heavy kinetic weight. System alert, enemy leadership eliminated and territory secured. The battlefield is now completely silent and totally destroyed. Only a flat path of compressed dirt remains behind my giant orb. I stand proudly behind my massive creation of pure destruction. The golden shell on my back shines brightly in the setting sun. I must find more matter to consume and add to my growing planet. A large stone castle sits quietly on the distant high mountain. That fortress will provide excellent dense building materials. I lower my head and begin pushing the sphere toward the castle. The heavy ball rolls forward, crushing the remaining small trees. System alert. Next target acquired for mass accumulation phase. I will not stop until this entire world becomes part of my ball. My tiny legs possess the absolute power of a falling dark star. The journey of a planetary guardian requires constant movement. The distant castle walls look very thick and incredibly strong. They will shatter easily under the immense weight of my weapon. I roll the sphere through a shallow river, crossing my direct path. The water is instantly displaced by the sheer volume of my mass. Mud and wet stones stick to the dark surface, adding more weight. System alert, liquid elements successfully integrated into core. I climb up the steep rocky hill leading to the stone fortress. Pushing this giant object uphill requires intense physical work. My golden legs dig deep into the hard mountain soil for traction. The guards on the high wall spot the massive approaching sphere. They ring the loud warning bells in a state of complete panic. Sound waves bounce harmlessly off the dense shell of my weapon. They prepare their heavy cannons to fire at my rolling planet. Every single cannonball will only make my sphere much heavier. System alert. Hostile projectiles detected flying in the air. The heavy sphere crashes right through the thick defensive wall. Stone blocks and metal gates collapse into the rolling void. I am the absolute master of gravity on this miserable planet. Huge chunks of the castle wall fall onto my dark sphere. The dense gravity pulls the solid stone into the center. This ancient fortress will soon become part of my weapon. System alert, structural absorption rate increased greatly. I drive my golden legs deep into the crushed courtyard. Panicked guards drop their heavy spears and run away fast. They cannot escape the pulling force of my giant planet. A massive iron cannon slides across the broken stone floor. The heavy weapon slams into the rolling ball of pure ruin. Solid metal bends and compresses under the extreme pressure. System alert, iron density added to the central gravity core. I push the sphere directly toward the main inner keep doors. Thick oak wood splinters upon contact with the dark surface. The kinetic impact shatters the grand entrance completely. I roll my creation into the highly decorated royal hallway. Beautiful marble pillars crack under the changing gravity. The ceiling groans loudly as the support structures fail. This entire building is now collapsing right on top of me. Falling debris simply merges with my expanding outer shell. System alert. Vertical mass integration process initiated. I continue my steady march across the ruined palace floor. A group of elite knights tries to block the narrow passage. They hold large, glowing shields radiating blue energy waves. Magic is just another form of energy for me to consume now. The giant sphere presses against their magical energy wall. Blue light flickers and dies as the core absorbs the power. The knights are thrown backward by the sudden kinetic blast. They hit the stone walls and lose consciousness immediately. System alert, magical energy converted into physical weight. I roll the massive ball over their shiny, discarded armor. Steel plates fold like thin paper under the crushing force. The sphere grows even larger, filling the entire wide hall. The walls scrape against the spinning sides of my giant orb. Stone dust rains down on my shiny golden protective shell. I push harder to break through the final structural barrier. The throne room doors explode inward from the air pressure. A wealthy king sits on a tall chair made of pure solid gold. He stares at the rolling mountain of debris in total shock. His royal guards have already fled through the back window. I do not care about his fake crown or his empty social rank. The gravity well begins to pull the gold throne forward now. Heavy metal scrapes loudly across the smooth, polished floor. The king jumps away just before the throne hits the sphere. Solid gold melts into the dark, rotating mass without a sound. System alert. Precious metals integrated into the outer crust. The king runs toward the secret escape passage in the wall. The immense gravitational pull rips the stone floor apart. He trips and falls hard onto the shaking, ruined foundation. The shockwave from the rolling mass knocks him out instantly. I roll the giant sphere right through the back of the castle. The entire fortress finally collapses under its own weight. Thousands of heavy stone blocks fall into my spinning core. The dust cloud covers the whole mountain peak in dark gray. System alert, castle structure fully absorbed into the weapon. I turn my golden body to face the steep mountain slope below. Gravity will now assist my downward journey toward the valley. I push the gigantic sphere over the rocky edge of the cliff. The massive ball begins to roll down the mountain very fast. I run quickly behind it to maintain my control over the path. Huge, ancient trees get uprooted by the passing kinetic force. Thick wooden trunks snap and vanish into the rotating surface. The mountain itself groans under the extreme rolling pressure. Deep cracks form in the solid bedrock behind my heavy weapon. System alert, planetary mass has reached Tier 3 evolution. The sphere absorbs a large, rushing waterfall during the fall. Millions of gallons of cold water compress into the dark core. Steam rises from the surface due to the intense internal heat. I am creating a brand new celestial body on this weak planet. The giant ball hits the valley floor with a deafening impact. A massive shockwave flattens the surrounding green landscape. Dirt and rocks fly high into the air, blocking the bright sun. The sphere continues rolling forward with terrifying momentum. I catch up and press my back legs against the smooth surface. System alert. Kinetic energy stabilized at maximum capacity. A large trading city sits directly in my current rolling path. Tall brick towers and busy markets fill the sprawling valley. The citizens hear the loud rumbling noise approaching quickly. They look up and see a literal mountain moving toward the town. Absolute panic spreads through the crowded city streets below. I do not slow down my steady mechanical pushing motion at all. The outer city walls crumble before the sphere even hits them. The expanding gravity field rips the stone gates off the hinges. Iron bars and wooden beams fly upward into the hungry dark void. System alert, urban materials detected and successfully absorbed. I push the sphere right through the busy central market square. Carts full of fresh food and heavy fabrics disappear instantly. The sheer wind force knocks the fleeing citizens to the ground. They roll away safely while their homes get completely crushed. Entire brick houses are pulled from their deep, solid foundations. Roofs and walls compress into the growing density of my weapon. I am cleansing this land with the pure, neutral power of gravity. A regiment of city guards tries to fire large, heavy ballistas. Giant steel bolts fly through the air toward my spinning planet. The projectiles freeze in midair, caught in the strong pull. They reverse direction and stick flat against the dark surface. System alert, projectile threat neutralized and added to mass. The ballistas are dragged forward by the invisible heavy force. They shatter into tiny wooden splinters against the rolling ball. The guards abandon their broken posts and run for the tall hills. I push the ball out the other side of the totally ruined city. A flat, empty path of compressed dirt is the only thing left now. The giant sphere is now larger than the mountain it rolled down. I am still just a tiny golden bug pushing from the very bottom. My back legs burn with the intense heat of constant heavy work. This physical pain only proves my existence as a true guardian. System alert, stamina levels holding steady under extreme load. A massive royal army waits for me on the wide-open plains ahead. 50,000 soldiers stand in perfect, tight combat formation. They have brought heavy siege engines and powerful magic users. They think they can stop a moving planet with tiny steel swords. I accelerate my pushing rhythm to increase the forward momentum. The ground shakes so violently that soldiers fall to their knees. Hundreds of magical fireballs launch into the dark, cloudy sky. The red flames streak toward my giant rotating sphere of doom. The gravity well simply swallows the fire without any explosion. System alert. Thermal energy absorbed to increase core pressure. The sphere begins to glow with a dull red internal heating light. I roll the burning planet directly into the front infantry lines. The soldiers are violently thrown aside by the massive shockwave. Their heavy armor protects them from death, but not from physics. They lose consciousness as they hit the soft green grass below. Weapons and shields are ripped from their hands by the gravity. A storm of sharp metal swirls around the glowing hot dark sphere. System alert, mass accumulation reaching critical planetary scale. The royal commander stares at the destruction in complete shock. He finally drops his fancy sword and falls to his shaking knees. The giant ball rolls over the heavy siege engines, crushing them. Wood and iron compress into the burning red core of my creation. I push harder, driving my golden shell deep into the broken earth. The whole army is defeated without spilling any blood at all. They will wake up later and realize the absolute futility of war. System alert, Continental threat neutralized with high efficiency. I stand behind my glowing hot planet of compressed world matter. My golden armor shines brightly in the dark, stormy evening light. I look toward the distant horizon, seeking more mass to consume. The journey of the world roller will never truly reach an end. I push the glowing hot sphere toward the distant blue ocean. The dry earth cracks and burns beneath the massive heavy weight. This weak planet offers so much raw material for my great work. System alert, continental crust integrity dropping very rapidly. Deep fissures open in the ground behind my continuous movement. Gravity is the only true absolute law in this entire universe. I drive my 6 golden legs deeper into the broken rocky soil. The intense friction generates massive waves of pure heat energy. My physical form scales perfectly with the endless kinetic load. A towering mountain range stands between me and the deep water. The sharp stone peaks pierce the low-hanging dark storm clouds. These static geological formations are just waiting to be moved. I accelerate my pushing rhythm to build maximum forward momentum. The giant red-hot planet collides with the first solid mountain. Stone shatters instantly into millions of tiny useless fragments. System alert, geological obstacle integrated into the main core. The immense gravitational pull swallows the falling debris whole. I am simply rearranging the basic structure of this entire world. I roll the massive sphere directly through the heavy stone peaks. Whole cliffs collapse inward, drawn by the terrifying dark center. Nature cannot resist the pure mechanical force of my daily labor. A hidden volcanic vent erupts beneath my giant rolling creation. Boiling liquid magma sprays against the dark, dense outer shell. Heat simply adds more internal pressure to my perfect weapon. System alert. Thermal expansion contained within safe parameters. The molten rock cools instantly upon touching the gravity field. Fire and earth merge together under my flawless physical control. I push the sphere out of the ruined mountains toward the beach. The vast blue ocean stretches endlessly across the flat horizon. Water is heavy and will grant my core incredible new density. The giant glowing ball rolls onto the soft white coastal sand. Millions of glass crystals form instantly from the extreme heat. I leave a smooth, shining mirror path behind my massive journey. System alert. Silicon compounds rapidly absorbed into the crust. The heavy sphere crashes loudly into the shallow ocean waters. Steam explodes upward, covering the bright afternoon sun entirely. I continue pushing my weapon deeper into the boiling, salty sea. Huge water waves crash violently against the empty, sandy shore. Ocean currents drag heavy sunken ships directly toward my center. A fleet of ancient wooden galleons rises from the dark sea floor. The rotting wood compresses instantly against the spinning mass. Human history means absolutely nothing to a planetary guardian. System alert. Aquatic pressure converting matter into solid mass. Tons of heavy seawater vanish into the hungry gravity well. The core density reaches a level beyond normal physical limits. I walk along the exposed ocean floor pushing the heavy dark orb. Strange, deep sea creatures swim away quickly in absolute panic. They are completely safe from my purely structural accumulation. A massive underwater coral reef blocks my direct forward path. Sharp, colorful rocks crumble under the massive kinetic weight. Calcium deposits will make my outer shell much stronger now. System alert, biological mineral structures successfully consumed. The sphere grows so large it breaks the deep ocean surface. I am rolling a new moon right across the bottom of the world. I drive my golden legs into the muddy sea floor with great force. The mud compresses into solid rock beneath my steady insect feet. My stamina is an endless resource fueled by pure cosmic purpose. A giant naval armada approaches my position from the far north. Hundreds of steel warships prepare to fire their heavy cannons. They foolishly believe they can sink a literal moving mountain. System alert. Hostile metallic vessels detected in the local area. The battleships launch a coordinated barrage of explosive shells. I do not even slow down my perfect rhythmic pushing motion. The explosive shells strike the dense surface of my giant planet. Kinetic energy is instantly absorbed without causing any damage. Their strongest weapons are just another source of raw material. The massive gravity pull reaches the heavy floating warships. Giant steel vessels are dragged quickly through the rough water. Panic spreads as the sailors abandon their doomed metal ships. System alert, iron and steel integrated into the planetary crust. Empty warships crash into the sphere and fold like thin paper. Sailors wash up safely on the distant shore, totally unharmed. I roll the massive ball onto the dry western continent shores. The ground shakes violently as the wet, heavy mass hits the dirt. This new landmass will provide excellent materials for expansion. System alert, Continental transition completed without any errors. A vast yellow desert stretches out before my shiny golden shell. Loose particles are the absolute best fuel for gravity weapons. I push the sphere forward, creating a massive, deep dirt trench. Tons of loose sand are sucked directly into the spinning core. The sphere becomes a swirling storm of pure kinetic destruction. An ancient buried pyramid emerges from the shifting desert sands. Heavy stone blocks vibrate under the extreme acoustic pressure. Dead kings have no right to hoard such dense building materials. System alert. Historical monument targeted for mass assimilation. The giant rolling planet crushes the pyramid into fine dust. I am erasing the foolish pride of ancient human civilizations. A magic floating city appears high in the clear blue desert sky. Giant glowing crystals keep the heavy stone island in the air. Defying gravity is a personal insult to my entire existence. I stop pushing for 1 second to calculate the exact trajectory. The sphere spins rapidly in place, digging a massive deep hole. I must increase the vertical pulling force to reach that target. System alert, gravity field adjusted for high-altitude targets. The floating city fires a massive beam of pure blue energy. Energy attacks are completely useless against infinite density. The blue beam strikes the top of my massive rotating sphere. The light bends and spirals directly into the dark, heavy center. I absorb their power and use it to expand my gravitational reach. System alert: magical energy converted into increased mass pull. The floating island shudders violently in the high atmosphere. Their levitation crystals cannot fight the true master of mass. I press my back legs against the dense, glowing hot surface. The sphere releases a powerful wave of pure kinetic attraction. The sky itself seems to bend under the terrifying new pressure. The massive floating city begins to fall slowly toward the Earth. Citizens evacuate safely using small, magical flying wooden boats. I only want their heavy stone buildings and dense magic crystals. System alert: aerial structure entering the primary danger zone. The falling city collides with my spinning planet of pure ruin. Millions of tons of solid rock compress instantly into the core. I push the sphere forward again to maintain the rolling momentum. The Earth shatters completely under the newly added heavy weight. My golden shell is covered in thick, compressed cosmic dust. A deep canyon opens up directly in front of my continuous path. The massive sphere simply rolls over the gap without falling in. My weapon is now wide enough to bridge entire geological faults. System alert: structural diameter exceeds 10 standard kilometers. The sky turns dark as my giant planet blocks out the shining sun. I am bringing a permanent solar eclipse to this pathetic world. I march steadily across the desert, pushing my heavy, dark burden. Extreme gravity begins to pull low-hanging clouds from the sky. Atmospheric moisture condenses instantly on the hot outer shell. A massive storm forms directly above my rolling sphere of doom. Lightning strikes the dark surface with loud, heavy sonic booms. Electrical energy just feeds the endless hunger of my dense core. System alert: weather manipulation achieved through sheer mass. Heavy rain pours down, cooling the glowing red-hot outer crust. Rapid cooling makes the outer surface hard like solid steel. I drive my tiny golden legs into the wet mud with perfect rhythm. The giant sphere crushes the remaining desert into a flat plain. I am smoothing out the wrinkles of this terribly flawed planet. The giant ball is now large enough to alter the actual horizon. The world curvature bends visibly around my dark spinning weapon. I am becoming the primary gravitational center of this realm. System alert: planetary orbit mechanics are now heavily affected. The actual moon in the sky begins to drift toward my position. Celestial bodies always respect the authority of greater density. The pale moon slowly descends from the dark, stormy sky above. Lunar gravity interacts violently with my spinning creation. I push the heavy dark sphere forward with perfect rhythm. System alert: lunar trajectory locked into the gravity well. The ocean tides rise high into the air across the entire globe. Water forms massive floating pillars reaching toward the sky. Planetary physics simply bend to the will of my massive weapon. I drive my 6 golden legs deeper into the broken solid bedrock. The continental plate shifts under the extreme localized weight. Deep tectonic faults burst open, releasing pure thermal energy. System alert: subterranean magma chambers exposed to the surface. Liquid fire sprays upward against the spinning dark solid crust. The intense heat instantly hardens into new planetary armor. I am forging a completely new world through pure kinetic force. A bright silver orbital station appears in the high atmosphere. Ancient planetary guardians built this metal ring long ago. They left it behind to protect the world from cosmic threats. System alert: ancient defensive satellite network fully activated. The silver station fires a massive beam of pure white energy. The blinding light strikes the center of my giant heavy sphere. Energy cannot destroy a mass that already bends local space. The white beam scatters into harmless, glowing sparks of light. System alert: energy dispersion handled without structural damage. I accelerate my steady pushing motion to increase the pressure. The massive dark sphere begins to pull the atmosphere itself. Thick white clouds swirl into the heavy rotating gravity core. The sky turns totally black as the air vanishes into the void. System alert: atmospheric density dropping across the hemisphere. The silver orbital station struggles to maintain its high orbit. Giant metal solar panels snap off under the invisible heavy pull. They fall toward the Earth like tiny useless shooting stars. I roll the giant planet across the boiling exposed magma ocean. My shiny golden shell reflects the bright red glowing liquid. Heat means absolutely nothing to a true master of pure physics. System alert: thermal resistance operating at maximum efficiency. The entire silver space station finally loses the gravity war. It plunges down through the thin remaining layer of atmosphere. The massive metal structure crashes into my spinning creation. Advanced alien technology compresses into flat, useless junk. System alert: extraterrestrial alloys added to the outer crust. The pale moon is now dangerously close to the planet's surface. Giant craters on the lunar face become clearly visible to me. The gravitational friction tears massive rocks from the moon. System alert. Lunar fragmentation process has officially begun. Huge gray boulders fall from the sky like heavy stone rain. They strike my dark sphere and merge instantly with the mass. I push the heavy planet forward over the ruined, burning Earth. The original world is slowly becoming smaller than my weapon. System alert. Planetary mass ratio shifting in your true favor. A massive global earthquake shakes the entire broken continent. The ground splits open, revealing the deep, heavy metallic core. I steer my giant rolling sphere directly into the massive gap. The sphere wedges tightly between the cracked continental plates. I push with all 6 legs to force the giant ball much deeper. System alert: subterranean penetration reaching critical levels. The heavy dark mass acts like a giant wedge in the solid rock. The entire planet simply splits in half under the extreme force. Billions of tons of molten rock float into the empty dark space. My sphere absorbs the broken halves of the old dying world now. System alert: global assimilation successfully completed today. I float in the cold, empty vacuum of deep, endless outer space. My golden legs continue their perfect mechanical pushing motion. The giant sphere is now a complete planet under my control. System alert: vacuum adaptation protocols engaged successfully. The broken pale moon drifts helplessly toward my new dark world. Lunar gravity is completely overpowered by my massive creation. The moon shatters into a beautiful ring of white floating dust. The dust ring spirals slowly down into the hungry gravity well. System alert: lunar mass fully integrated into the central core. I look across the vast dark solar system for my next big target. A bright red planet orbits nearby with 2 small jagged moons. I push my heavy dark world through the empty, silent black void. Cosmic dust gathers on my shiny golden shell as I move forward. The journey across the endless space requires absolute patience. System alert. Interplanetary travel velocity steadily increasing. The red planet grows larger in my cold, calculating insect vision. Massive dust storms rage across the dry, empty alien landscape. This dead world will provide excellent loose surface material. I aim my rolling dark sphere directly at the red planetary core. System alert: collision course locked with the red target body. The 2 jagged moons of the red planet are pulled off their path. They crash directly into the hard outer crust of my moving world. The kinetic impact creates massive, bright flashes of pure energy. My sphere absorbs the shockwaves without losing any momentum. System alert: satellite assimilation completed without resistance. The red planet tries to pull my sphere toward its deep center. I push harder to maintain my dominant structural kinetic control. The 2 massive celestial bodies finally collide in silent space. A blinding wave of pure kinetic force ripples through the void. System alert. Massive planetary collision detected and contained. The red crust shatters like thin glass under the heavy pressure. Billions of tons of red sand flow into my dark gravity well. The dead world collapses inward as my sphere rolls right over it. I am simply cleaning up the useless debris of this solar system. System alert: Martian mass successfully added to the primary core. I push the newly expanded sphere toward the dense asteroid belt. Millions of floating rocks block the path to the outer planets. These scattered fragments lack the discipline of a unified mass. I roll my giant world directly into the thick, rocky stone field. System alert: asteroid field engagement protocol fully initiated. The immense gravity simply sweeps the floating stones together. They slam into the rotating crust, creating bright kinetic sparks. A massive clear path forms behind my continuous pushing motion. The sphere grows larger with every single rock it consumes now. System alert: mineral density reaching absolute maximum capacity. A massive gas giant looms ahead in the dark, freezing outer space. Swirling storms of toxic gas cover its massive round surface. Gas is just another physical state of matter waiting to be bound. I accelerate my golden legs to build maximum forward momentum. System alert. Gaseous absorption mechanics successfully prepared. The solid dark sphere plunges into the thick, swirling atmosphere. Violent winds try to push against the unstoppable kinetic weight. The gravity well begins to compress the heavy gas into solid ice. A thick layer of frozen toxic chemicals forms on the outer crust. System alert. Chemical composition altered by extreme compression. The gas giant shrinks rapidly as its atmosphere is pulled away. A small solid metallic core is revealed in the dark deep center. The core crashes heavily into my completely frozen outer shell. The impact creates a massive silent shockwave in the dark vacuum. System alert. Planetary core assimilated into the gravity weapon. I push the massive frozen world back out into the open dark void. My shiny golden armor reflects the distant bright burning sun. There is only one source of absolute mass left in this system. I turn my 6 legs toward the massive burning star in the center. System alert. Solar trajectory calculated with perfect precision. The journey toward the sun will take a large amount of time. I do not feel any fatigue or doubt in my endless mechanical mind. The temperature rises steadily as I push the sphere much closer. The frozen gas layer melts and vaporizes into a massive tail. System alert. Thermal radiation levels exceeding safe parameters. The giant star fills my entire vision with blinding bright light. I push the dark heavy sphere directly into the burning sun mass. The sphere begins to consume the star from the inside out now. A massive black spot forms on the bright surface of the sun. System alert. Stellar mass accumulation reaching critical stages. The star collapses inward, drawn by my endless gravity pull. I have rolled an entire solar system into one single object. The universe is vast and contains infinite raw solid materials. I turn my golden body toward the nearest distant bright galaxy. System alert. Interstellar travel coordinates successfully locked. I push the massive dark sphere through the cold, empty void. Cosmic radiation strikes my shiny golden shell without effect. Absolute zero temperature means nothing to pure kinetic force. System alert. Interstellar vacuum threshold successfully passed. I drive my 6 golden legs into the dense, spinning dark mass. The dead solar system compresses perfectly under my heavy feet. Space bends visibly around the terrifying weight of my weapon. System alert. Spatial distortion field expanding very rapidly. A rogue frozen planet drifts aimlessly across my forward path. The dark ice cracks instantly under the massive gravity field. Wandering celestial bodies lack the discipline of true purpose. I roll the giant heavy sphere directly over the frozen world. Billions of tons of solid ice shatter into fine cosmic powder. Frozen water adds excellent structural density to the dark core. System alert. Cryogenic mass integrated into the primary layers. I accelerate my pushing rhythm to cross the vast empty distance. The dark sphere acts like a giant vacuum in the endless black. Speed is simply a matter of applying endless mechanical energy. A massive purple gas nebula appears in the distant star field. Thick clouds of cosmic dust swirl around bright newborn stars. This raw, chaotic matter requires my perfect physical structure. System alert. Stellar nursery detected in the forward trajectory. I push the heavy planet directly into the thick purple clouds. Extreme gravity pulls the loose gas into a massive tight spiral. Unformed stars collapse before they can even begin burning hot. I am harvesting the basic building blocks of the entire galaxy. System alert. Elemental hydrogen absorbed at maximum efficiency. The dark sphere glows slightly from the intense internal heat. Friction between compressed gas clouds creates pure, raw energy. My golden shell reflects the beautiful, violent cosmic destruction. I walk steadily across the surface of my massive moving world. The purple nebula vanishes entirely into the hungry dark center. Empty space remains where 1,000,000 future suns once existed. System alert. Nebula consumption completed without any errors. I push the sphere through a field of dark, wandering space rocks. Countless small meteors strike the surface like tiny raindrops. These scattered fragments are quickly bound to the dark surface. System alert. Micro-debris assimilation is running continuously. The dark sphere acts like a giant broom sweeping the dirty void. Space becomes completely empty and clean behind my rolling path. Order is restored to the void through pure mechanical effort. A rogue planet made entirely of pure diamond floats very nearby. Clear crystal surface reflects the distant starlight perfectly. Hard materials make excellent armor for my heavy spinning sphere. System alert, carbon-based crystalline structure located ahead. I steer my massive rolling weapon toward the shining clear world. The diamond planet shatters instantly upon heavy kinetic contact. Sharp crystal shards rain down heavily on the dark rocky crust. Extreme gravity pulls diamonds deep into the solid outer crust. System alert. Indestructible diamond armor plating fully formed. A massive fleet of alien starships warps into the local sector. Thousands of bright green engines illuminate the dark, cold void. They wish to protect their galaxy from my perfect accumulation. System alert. Hostile interstellar armada entering combat range. The alien vessels fire massive beams of concentrated antimatter. Green energy strikes the dense outer crust of my rolling planet. Antimatter simply annihilates a tiny fraction of the outer dust. My sphere possesses far too much mass for their weak technology. System alert. Antimatter bombardment neutralized by pure density. I do not stop my perfect mechanical pushing motion for a second. The gravity field reaches out and grabs the leading alien ships. Heavy metal hulls groan and snap under the invisible dark force. Advanced starships are dragged backward into the spinning crust. System alert, extraterrestrial vessels crushed into raw scrap. The alien commanders panic and attempt to warp away from danger. Space is too heavily distorted by my massive gravitational pull. Warp drives explode violently in bright flashes of green light. Their escape routes are completely sealed by basic astrophysics. I roll the giant sphere right through the center of their fleet. Thousands of metal ships flatten instantly against the dark rock. I am recycling their arrogant civilization into useful material. System alert. Advanced metallic alloys integrated into the core. A binary star system blocks my direct path to the galactic core. Two giant blue suns orbit each other in a deadly cosmic dance. Their combined gravity creates a massive chaotic physical shield. System alert, binary stellar interference detected dead ahead. I push my heavy dark planet directly between the two giant suns. Immense heat tries to melt the solid crust of my perfect weapon. My dense core absorbs the thermal energy without a single issue. System alert. Thermal absorption capacity remains totally stable. The gravity of my sphere disrupts the delicate orbit of the suns. Two blue suns crash together, creating a massive bright hot flash. The supernova explosion washes right over my shiny golden shell. System alert. Supernova wave energy is successfully assimilated. I roll the dark sphere through the expanding cloud of hot gas. Dying stars are compressed into heavy solid metallic elements. A highly dense neutron star spins rapidly in the dark distance. Deadly radiation pulses outward in massive regular energy waves. This is a worthy challenge for my ultimate planetary mass weapon. System alert, extreme gravitational anomaly detected dead ahead. I drive my golden legs harder to overcome the opposing pull now. Two massive gravity wells begin to fight for absolute control. Space tears open, creating tiny temporary silent dark black holes. System alert, local space-time fabric experiencing severe stress. The neutron star tries to strip the outer layers of my weapon. Dense rock holds perfectly under my flawless structural control. I use the spinning momentum to push my sphere directly forward. My giant dark planet collides violently with the tiny white star. System alert, neutron star impact contained within safe limits. Incredibly dense stellar matter resists the crushing pressure. I press my golden body against the hot spinning dark solid crust. My strength scales infinitely with the total kinetic mass pushed. The neutron star finally cracks under the superior cosmic weight. System alert. Ultra-dense matter successfully broken into pieces. Heavy white fragments sink deeply into the dark planetary ocean. Core density of my weapon increases to unimaginable new levels. I am rolling a mass heavier than 100 normal solar systems. System alert. Gravitational reach expanded across the local arm. The galactic center shines brightly in the far-distant cold void. Millions of ancient stars orbit a supermassive dark central hole. That giant gravity well is the only rival left in this universe. System alert. Supermassive black hole identified as next target. I push the heavy sphere toward the glowing bright star cluster. Entire solar systems are pulled out of their natural safe orbits. Planets and suns rain down upon my massive rolling creation now. System alert. Multiple stellar bodies absorbed during transit. The sphere grows so large it dwarfs the surrounding giant stars. I march steadily across a surface made of crushed solar systems. My golden shell remains totally untouched by the extreme chaos. The supermassive black hole begins to pull on my ultimate weapon. System alert event horizon detected at the forward boundary line. I do not fear the absolute darkness of the endless crushing void. I drive my 6 legs into the crust and push with maximum power. The giant sphere enters the event horizon without slowing down. Light itself is trapped between the 2 competing gravity wells. Space-time geometry is severely warped by the massive conflict. The black hole tries to stretch and consume my solid dark planet. My core density is now far greater than the ancient dark anomaly. The sphere simply absorbs the black hole into its massive center. System alert singularity successfully integrated into the core. The entire galaxy stops spinning around the old vanished center. Billions of stars begin to orbit my golden body and dark sphere. I am the new undisputed physical center of this entire universe. System alert. Universal mass accumulation is now fully optimized. I push the massive dark sphere through the dead galaxy. Billions of bright stars fall into the heavy gravity well. The entire universe is just scattered dust waiting for me. System alert, galactic mass assimilation running smoothly. I drive my 6 golden legs into the ultra-dense solid crust. The physical fabric of space tears apart under the pressure. Pure kinetic force always defeats basic cosmic geometry. System alert. Space-time degradation detected in local sector. I steer my ultimate weapon toward the nearest spiral galaxy. The massive distance between galaxies shrinks very rapidly. Empty space offers absolutely zero resistance to my motion. System alert. Intergalactic travel velocity at absolute max. A giant web of dark matter blocks my direct forward path. The invisible cosmic threads snap against my heavy sphere. Dark matter is simply another form of raw building material. System alert. Dark matter integration successfully initiated. I roll the giant heavy planet along the broken cosmic web. Invisible mass becomes solid rock upon extreme compression. The universe hides its true weight from lazy observers. System alert. Hidden cosmic mass added to the primary core. I accelerate my perfect mechanical pushing rhythm right now. The dark sphere generates a massive universal shockwave. Every single galaxy feels the pull of my endless gravity. System alert. Gravitational waves expanding across the void. A blinding bright quasar spins rapidly in the dark distance. Massive beams of pure energy shoot across the empty void. This ancient light source holds incredible physical power. System alert. Ultra-luminous cosmic object located dead ahead. I push my golden body harder against the spinning heavy rock. The quasar beam strikes the center of my massive creation. Energy easily converts back into solid mass under pressure. System alert. Quasar radiation absorbed without any damage. I roll the dense dark sphere directly into the burning quasar. The brightest object in the universe goes completely dark. Light cannot escape the absolute authority of my heavy core. System alert, extreme energy source crushed into solid matter. I look across the vast, dark expanse of the endless universe. Thousands of galaxies begin to drift toward my location. The cosmic expansion has been completely reversed by my work. System alert. Universal contraction process is now beginning. I drive my golden legs into the crust with maximum strength. The giant sphere pulls entire star clusters into its orbit. I am the new undisputed physical center of all existence. System alert. Macrocosmic structure fully destabilized now. A massive galaxy cluster collides with my dark, heavy surface. Trillions of stars shatter into fine, glowing cosmic dust. Numbers mean absolutely nothing against infinite density. System alert, galaxy cluster successfully merged into the core. I push the sphere through the glowing remains of the cluster. The heavy gravity well cleans up every single floating spark. A tidy universe requires endless physical dedication to work. System alert, sector cleanup completed with perfect efficiency. I turn my golden body toward the great cosmic attractor anomaly. A massive unseen force tries to pull my sphere off its path. Only I decide the final destination of this massive object. System alert. External gravitational interference is neutralized. I roll my heavy dark weapon directly against the massive pull. The great attractor reveals itself as a giant dark matter web. The greatest mystery of space is just another pile of dirt. System alert. Great attractor anomaly targeted for consumption. I push the spinning heavy crust directly into the dark anomaly. The massive cosmic structure collapses under my kinetic weight. Even the strongest natural forces bow to my endless labor. System alert anomaly mass integrated into the planetary core. I march steadily across the dark solid surface of my creation. The sphere grows so massive it bends the entire universe. The edges of reality are starting to curl inward around me. System alert. Universal boundary distortion reaching max level. I accelerate the spinning motion of the massive dark planet. The fabric of reality begins to tear at the distant edges. This dimension can no longer hold the weight of my sphere. System alert. Dimensional integrity failing across all sectors. A massive wave of pure white cosmic energy washes over me. The energy tries to erase my physical form from existence. My golden shell is far too dense to be destroyed by pure light. System alert. Cosmic erasure protocol successfully blocked now. I push the giant heavy sphere directly into the white energy. The light shatters into harmless, tiny, glowing physical shards. Everything becomes solid matter when compressed hard enough. System alert. Photonic mass converted into heavy solid rock. I steer the massive dark world toward the edge of the universe. The cosmic boundary looks like a giant glowing glass wall. Every container has a physical limit that can be easily broken. System alert. Universal boundary wall detected dead ahead now. I drive my 6 powerful legs deep into the compressed crust. The massive sphere builds unstoppable forward kinetic momentum. I will roll this entire universe right out of its own box. System alert. Kinetic energy output exceeding universal limits. The giant heavy dark planet strikes the glowing boundary wall. Massive cracks spread across the entire fabric of empty space. Reality is incredibly fragile when hit with infinite weight. System alert. Structural failure of the universe is confirmed. I push with absolutely all my physical strength right now. The glowing cosmic wall shatters into billions of tiny pieces. We are finally leaving the small, confined nursery of space. System alert. Extra-dimensional threshold successfully crossed. I roll the massive dark sphere into the pure white endless void. The broken universe collapses entirely into my gravity well. I carry the entire mass of the old reality on my strong back. System alert. Total universal assimilation is fully complete. I walk across the dark crust of my newly formed universe. The endless white void offers absolutely zero physical resistance. A higher dimension is just another empty room to clean up. System alert. Multiverse traversal protocols fully engaged now. I push the heavy compressed universe through the white silence. Massive floating bubbles of light appear in the distant void. Each bubble contains an entirely different alternate reality. System alert. Alternate dimensional structures detected ahead. I steer my ultimate dark sphere toward the closest light bubble. The alternate universe tries to repel my massive gravity field. Different laws of physics mean absolutely nothing to pure mass. System alert. Foreign physical laws completely overwritten now. I roll the giant heavy sphere directly into the glowing bubble. The thin membrane of the alternate reality pops like a balloon. Trillions of new strange planets are ready for my collection. System alert. Alternate universe assimilation has just begun. I drive my golden legs faster to increase the crushing pressure. Strange blue stars and square planets fall into the dark core. Weird geometry is quickly corrected by my perfect round sphere. System alert. Non-standard geometric mass perfectly compressed. A massive fleet of multidimensional beings appears before me. They fire beams of pure temporal energy at my shiny golden shell. Time is just another physical dimension that I can easily crush. System alert. Temporal distortion attacks successfully blocked. I push my heavy dark planet right through their temporal wave. The advanced multidimensional ships freeze completely in time. Their frozen bodies make excellent solid armor for my weapon. System alert. Higher dimensional entities crushed into debris. I roll the giant sphere over the frozen fleet of strange ships. Advanced temporal engines shatter into fine glowing blue dust. I am the absolute master of all space and all existing time. System alert, chronological mass successfully added to the core. I turn my golden body toward the center of the vast multiverse. A massive cluster of reality bubbles orbits a central axis. The ultimate source of all creation is just another heavy rock. System alert, multiversal core located in the forward sector. I push the heavy compressed reality through the endless white. Dozens of reality bubbles are pulled into my massive dark wake. The entire multiverse is slowly becoming one single solid object. System alert. Absolute mass accumulation reaching final stages.
This video and everything in it are completely fictional and original creations by my author. The story is made only for storytelling and entertainment inside a fictional universe. It isn't meant to encourage violence, dangerous actions, or harmful behavior, and nothing in this video should be copied in real life. All characters shown in this work are fictional and are presented as 18 years old or older. This content is made only for entertainment and isn't intended to offend, attack, or harm any person, group, or organization. This channel is more than just entertainment. It's made to share deep ideas, powerful meanings, and valuable insights through stories that make you think and feel in a new way.